start with Juan standing up in the back.
Hey, Dave, you look pretty tired. How does this one feel?
Yeah, I'm elated. I'm tired. I'm happy. So yeah, I'm just excited. I'm proud of our guys. You know, this was we talked about this series. It was going to be it was going to test us. You know, and we fought. We didn't relent, not one time. And I just couldn't be more excited for this ball club.
What can you say about Yamamoto just kind of setting the tone there?
He set the tone. And, you know, I think that, you know, Yoshi's had a lot of success in his professional career. And I said it before. I mean, he's pitched in big ball games, and I believed in him. I knew he was going to rise to the occasion, and he was outstanding tonight. And I knew he wasn't going to run from this spot. And, you know, I'm looking forward to riding him through the World Series.
Bill, back right.
Yeah, Dave, you finished the series with 24 consecutive scoreless innings. How perfect does the pitching plan have to go for that to happen?
Well, I think, Bill, it's about the players. The players were outstanding. The guys from the 24, 26 innings, you know, when you call a number, call a name, it's up to those guys to go out there and perform. And I give all the credit to those guys, and you can have whatever plan or script people can talk about, but it comes down to the players. And those guys made plays, made pitches, and made us all look good. And from Yoshi today to the bullpen, I mean, if you're talking about a series MVP, it's our bullpen, clearly. And so I'm so excited for those guys, and Josh Bart's done a fantastic job with the entire bullpen.
Russell on the right side.
Dave, you've managed a lot of games and played in a lot of games that had a lot of meaning. Where does this series rank just in terms of the intensity that you've been a part of?
I'll tell you, this rivals, you know, you asked me the question, Russ, it rivals 2004 when we beat the Yankees when I was a player with the Red Sox. It rivals beating the Braves in 2020 to get to the World Series. Those are probably, this is right there with it. I mean, you're talking about one of the best teams in baseball over there, and Mike and his staff did a great job preparing those guys, and it was a dogfight, and I got nothing but respect for those guys over there. But to kind of win this series how we did, to kind of fall behind, and those guys coming into the postseason had a lot of momentum, speaks to the character of our guys. So this is right up there.
Dave, when you said you believe that...
The fact that Yoshi, Darvish, guys like other guys that have pitched that are from out of the country, they're pitching on a bigger scale. Yoshi is pitching for his country. And so when you pitch for the WBC, for the country of Japan, those are as high a stakes as you can have. And he's done that and pitched well in those moments. As Darvish. And so I got to give you a lot of credit for what he did. And so I think that for me, I didn't believe that he was going to run from this moment. And we were going to get everything he had. And that's what he did. And he hadn't been in the sixth inning since the Yankees. So I felt at that point in time, he gave us everything he had, and we could hand it off to a very, very capable pen.
Now, that said, I'm guessing as you're kind of mapping this out, right, you probably can't count on 5 scoreless. Like, realistically, where were your expectations in terms of how much length he was going to be able to give you?
You know what, honestly, Dylan, I just had a lot of different ways the game was going to go. I didn't know if it was going to be scoreless, we were going to be behind, we were going to be ahead, how it was going to look. So I think for me, I just had a lot of different ways and a lot of capable guys in the pen. But like I told you guys, I believed in Yoshi from the outset, and he performed just admirably.
Let's go to Mike standing up on the right.
Dave, was this about as stressful a game as you've managed in a while? Just because of the score?
Yeah. This was, I think that even Game 4, this is the most stress I've been in quite some time. Even Game 4, where you have 7 or 8 guys that you're going to go to and you know their lanes. When you have a starter and you don't know when to deploy and get the carousel going, that adds stress and anxiety. So with that and what was at stake in a team that had momentum and kind of took care of business against us 2 years ago. It was a huge series. And so I felt that kind of gravity. I did.
Does anything Kike does in October surprise you anymore?
No. We're in Los Angeles, some of the greatest athletes of all time, and those great ones aren't afraid to fail. And Kike, when you're talking about postseason in whatever sport, you can't be afraid to fail. And this guy always rises to the occasion. And so that was sort of the bet that Andrew, Gomer, myself had to acquire Kike. The reason we got him this year was to win 11 games in October.
Let's go to the second row on the left.
You sort of already answered my question about Kike, but just what's the difference for him from the regular season to the postseason? What do you see that's different?
The difference is he understands that this regular season is a long season. The focus every day seems to be tougher for him. But when you're talking about the biggest of stages, everyone knows Kike. He loves the spotlight. And some people love it. Some people run from it. So when you're talking about this market, the postseason, people in Puerto Rico watching him all over the country, that's when he's his best. And so that's why you sort of get through the regular season with Kike, and then when you get through that, you're going to get the best player.
Jack on the left.
Just after the 2 years, or the last 2 years, to obviously you guys want to win 8 more games, but to get past this round and come back in this series, like how much of a relief was that? How much redemption do you guys just feel as a team being able to move on this year?
It's relief. It's redemption. I wanted to beat those guys. We all wanted to beat those guys really bad. We played a very good ball game today, certainly on the pitching and the defensive side. We're going to celebrate tonight, as you can see, but the job's not done, and you will see the focus, the fire going forward, and with the expectation to win 8 more games. And that Mets team is playing really good baseball, and but we'll be ready.
You've talked about it, and guys in there were just talking about the attitude of this team, the focus, being able to bounce back in these last 2 games. Like, when you look back this year and this week especially, where do you think that comes from?
It's the players. I'll say this, though, is that I haven't been a part of as much adversity as this ball club has had, and not one time have we made an excuse or given ourselves an out to not win 11 games in October. And that's a credit to the character of the guys, the coaches, the front office, getting a lot of depth that we've had to tap into. And so that's why, like I told the guys in the clubhouses, I've never believed in a group of guys more than this group. I really haven't.
We'll take 2 more. We'll go to Barry, and then we'll finish up with Juan in the back.
Doc, congratulations. What can you say about an organization that goes out and spends the kind of money and acquires the type of players they do to put you in this situation? Basically, it puts you in this situation and win the division every year, and it gives you a shot in the playoffs every time you go in it.
Yeah, it's I can't say enough about Mark Walter and the entire ownership group. And you're in a big market, and they're just as competitive as we are. And so to give ourselves a chance every year to win a championship, that's all we can ask for. Then it's up to us to go out there and perform. And so I'm very grateful to be in this position.
You think that gives you an edge over teams that have lesser resources? Because as it turns out, the top 3 spending teams in baseball are still left in the playoffs.
Well, I think every year is different. I really do. So I don't know how it was last year, 2 years ago. This year, honestly, Barry, the only thing that matters is we're ready to play, and we're ready to win 4 games against the Mets. And so I'm not thinking about payroll. I'm thinking about our 26 guys and beating the Mets. That's it.
Yeah, I think to your list of playoff series, you'd probably want to add that 2021 Giants series too, huh?
That's right, yeah.
We'll finish up with Juan, straight back.
Dave, what happened with Vesia, and how's he doing right now?
Yeah, so he was going to go out there and start the 8th, and he said he had a cramp, and so obviously it was a no-brainer to take him out of the game. We're going to get some scans, MRI. I'm crossing my fingers that it's not any type of intercostal or oblique situation. I hope it's just a cramp, but we haven't got it tested, and I don't know.
All right, Dave. Appreciate the time. Congrats
Thank
on
you,
the win.
guys.
We'll see you at the LCS.